It is a pleasure to be here yet another Tuesday evening as we look at entrepreneurship in focus. I am your host, Marlon Joseph, and I'm most excited to be here. How are you guys doing? I know some of you might be in your matrimony fever spirit, so that you're getting ready to go down the road and you're going to have a ball. I have been fortunate to look at some of the flows that has passed for the children matrimony competition, and I see that they were really doing their thing. I was pretty much amazed. How are you guys doing? I see some of our loyal viewers are joining. Phyllis, Ronnie, Wine, Lorraine Black, Shopify e-commerce empire, and several other persons are joining. This evening is going to be yet another interesting evening where we're going to be spitting fire. We've got a powerhouse in studio, Madam CEO. She is the founder of Cerulean Inc. And she also wears many hats, so she's here to tell us a bit about her business. We're going to hear all about what they've been doing, their successes, some of the challenges they've been having, so that we all can grow and learn from her growth. In other words, we're going to mind her business this evening. Ms. Black, welcome to our program, Entrepreneurship in Focus.
Oh, thank you so much, Marlon. I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So, for the record, let's understand the name of your business.
Okay, so the name of my business is Cerulean Inc. Cerulean is a blue, right? And that blue signifies sincerity, honesty, loyalty, integrity.
Yes.
And that is the blue of the country where I was born, which is St. Lucia, and it's the blue of the St. Lucian flag.
Nice.
So I haven't been home for a long time, so it's good to bring a little bit of home with me.
Yes, indeed.
So that's the reason for Cerulean Inc. And those people who know me know, I tell you like it is.
Awesome.
No fluff.
No fluff. So what really motivated your interest to go into business? What's the backstory?
Well, 2 days ago I was saying to a group of ladies that one day I'm going to tell my story. And maybe it might be a good thing because somehow this week I felt a need to be authentic. I am a traveling wife.
Okay.
My husband got a position here in Guyana some 15 years ago. So I could have sat down and sip tea with, the other ladies and talk about, I don't know, the house and all of these things.
Yes,
but I've always been a professional woman. I made a decision for my family. I made a decision that has born the greatest why there can ever be, a beautiful daughter, Lauren Black.
Okay.
And so because of that, I had to make that decision to step away from my professional life to take care of my baby. And I did that for a while. And she was one of the people who always say to me, Mom, you will do great things.
Yeah.
Even at 6 years old, she was telling me that.
Wow.
Right? So, we took care of each other. We had a great time. I took her swimming. I did all of those great things. But those professional women out there know when you are into a particular profession, even if you would pause for your family and you would pause for those things, somehow you feel that need to do something. I'm one of those persons, Marlon, that if I see something wrong, if I can't do anything about it, I go deathly quiet.
Okay, interesting.
Right? So when I came into Guyana and I realized setting up my home, there was a different way of doing things. And particularly, I'm sure we all complain about it every day. The level of service was just affecting me every time. Every shop I went to, And yes, I know you really can. And what happened is I decided that I would design our signature program, which is our signature program today, which is Introduction to Service Quality.
Lovely.
So I started. At the time, we lived in Queenstown on La Looney Street, which somehow this is bringing back memories for me where I am, and I sat in a downstairs office, and I created, literally from scratch. Right? And I think at one point my husband and my daughter was always asking, what are you doing? What's going on? But I knew exactly what I was doing then. And the support system that I had created and helped me to do those, to go to companies and and to talk to them about service. Because, you know, for one, I had a supportive husband and I had a supportive daughter, and I had a mother who told me I can do anything that I put my mind to. So ladies out there, you know, talk to your children and tell them that they can, because that means a lot.
Okay. So what was the reception like at that time? You approaching companies to talk about ways in which they can improve their service.
So here is what I would say. Sometimes when we sell, we have to create awareness. And we have to educate. Right? So I got the pushback that what if they leave? But if you train them and they leave. So my comeback was, if we don't train them and they stay. And you could literally see the fear in some of the managers' eyes, because they had a lot who stayed and who was creating a lot of problems for them in the organization. So little by little, I remember getting 2 people from one organization and 2 from another. And we decided, there was a lady called Stacia, and I want to really shout her out. She worked for the Pan American Corporation, and they were right in the corner of East Street and Main Street. And this lady opened her office to us and gave me that space at a nominal fee. And so we started right there. And we started with maybe 2 companies from about 2 staff members from about 10 companies. And that was such a success. I remember my husband and my daughter helping me on that in that event, and it was the greatest success. It was the beginning of so many great things after. But the most important thing, Marlon, about this is the way that people became their truest self in the grouping. You know, like when I did a session or if I did a program, people were very authentic. Even today, I was telling you, I had a session today, and the ladies were so forthcoming and so authentic and so true to themselves. So these are the things that are important with entrepreneurship. All the things we learn about it and all the technical issues of entrepreneurship, which I'm sure we're going to talk about in a minute. These things are important, but without who you are, without you being true to what you believe in, then you are not able to zone in on the things that are important, particularly because entrepreneurship is about people first. Then that authenticity is necessary.
From interacting with several organizations, do you find that many persons are functional but they're not fulfilled?
Yes. It's funny you ask that question. My company has recently started a program called Language and Effective Communication. Right? And that is also a response program, and I'll tell you why. Because we found many people that sat in our groups and in our training programs and our sessions. Some of them are literate and are able to really do the work and understand what they're doing. But when we get to writing things down, then I see where some people have challenges. And challenges in language, challenges in communicating effectively. And that actually is, in my mind, hinges on functional literacy. So there are people who are literate, but functional literacy is the ability to articulate well, the ability to write a letter, the ability to send an email or write an email effectively. And we saw that lacking. So we created that program, and we also made it private. So you could do a group session, or you can also do private. The private is the one that has become very popular because people are coming to us. We had an operations manager, and he has been an operations manager for 17 years. But one of the things we realized is that his writing was not the best, right? His diction was not the best. And he realized that and was open enough with us, because one of the things that we do about the programs that we run, if we say it's private, it is highly confidential. We will never take a photo. We will never post anything about what it is that we are doing with you. So, you know, in answering your question, functional illiteracy is a very serious issue. And we complain a lot about the fact that the schools are teaching us a lot of the students to pass exams, but how you function in society is very important for yourself,
and it's very different.
That's it. Foremost for yourself, and then secondly for the organization and for your community.
Yeah, so
how do you survive
after.
Yes.
And that's it. I've been saying to people, when we look at our education system, we're being taught how to dissect a fly and parts of a frog and so on. When in other countries, persons are learning business from an early age. Entrepreneurship, how to go out and make money, how to be innovative, creative.
That's it.
So I believe we need to relook at our education system and to see where we can better empower our people from an early age.
Absolutely. One of the things that I'm very serious about, or even aware of, is the fact that not all of us will be entrepreneurs. We have to appreciate that. There will be the employees and there will be the employers.
True.
But I believe that the two options should be given to children from early, right? Showing them the importance of one over another, and then having them choose. I remember my grandmother, bless her, my mother telling me, you have to work hard so you can get a good job. And she said it in all love and sincerity, because that's what at that time folks knew. I was never told that you have to do well so you can become an entrepreneur,
or just be successful.
Or be successful. Yeah, right. So that is, for me, this is where I see it. I see that we need to be able to give kids options, because they really do have options now.
So help us to understand some of these services that you provide.
Okay. So Cerulean Inc. Is a corporate training and business consulting company. We've been registered in Guyana since 2012.
Okay.
And what we offer is corporate training. So training in, we started with service, and anybody who understands service will know once you start with service, everything else comes to bear, whether it be leadership issues, conflict resolution. You might have other supervisory skills, supervisory issues. So there are two things that we do every year. We look at the most popular programs that are being that companies would buy from us. We also do our trend analysis, which is what's happening internationally as it relates to human development and human capital development.
I've never heard of that before.
Yes,
yes, new.
Right? So we look at that, and we also look at what we see as issues that people generally, because we do the mentorship program, through the mentorship program we see so many issues that small business, because we do the small business mentorship, we do the managerial mentorship. We have actually dissected the mentorship program in specialized areas, so we are able to pull from that and see what are the challenges people have. And then we respond to that by creating those outlines and modules that respond and help organizations as well as individuals.
Lovely.
Right? In development. So that is one of the areas we work on.
And before you move, is there a duration on the mentorship program?
The yes, we do have a 6-month and we have a 3-month program. So if you feel, for example, that you understand entrepreneurship and you know what you're doing, but sometimes you need a support, you need a soundboard, because we all do. I have a mentor. I have international advisors that work with me, right? And we meet every month where they tell me, no, you are doing this is not right. Or I come up with a brilliant plan and I think, oh my God, I'm going to talk to my advisor. He says, what are you talking about? And I have to kind of step back. All of us need mentors in our lives. So sometimes, a person might need a 3-month. And then other times, folks might need a 6-month. So we give you the options. We tell you exactly what you will cover. And then mentorship is a process. So we go through what is our process for mentorship. And that is through our own learning and education, we are able to give people that advice.
So I guess you will conduct your own analysis of the person, where they are before they go through the mentorship program as well, to mesh them.
Yes. I am a mentor for the Women Leadership Institute in Canada, and I'm also an international mentor for the Sherry Blair Foundation.
Nice.
So under both of those programs, you are taught as to how to mentor people. This is not mentorship is just not something that you get up on one side of the bed and decide to do it. So the foundation of mentorship is really that the mentee drives.
Yes.
The mentee drives the mentorship, right? And we show them how to drive it so that you would get the best out of it, right? So we've learned to do that, and this is one of the services that we offer.
Lovely.
We also do business consulting, and in business consulting, one of the areas, well, our team are qualified in international trade, maritime transport, business, an MBA, tourism, as well as some specialized fields like human resource, marketing, etc. So we would offer business consulting to companies as well as international organizations. We also do strategic planning. I was in Trinidad last week, where I worked with the International Maritime Organization on developing a strategy for an organization within the Caribbean. So we do these types of both international, regional, as well as local business management.
Lovely. So what I'm gathering is that you're able to work with businesses regardless of your level, from small to large, when it's business strategy setting up and so on.
Exactly. We can work with whether it's small or large companies. We do work with in December I did some cross culture training for SBM offshore. I do cross culture with ExxonMobil. Whatever the company's needs are, we work with them. We worked with Technique FMC on leadership last year. So there are quite a number of international companies that are working with us, and we are very appreciative of that, because we are able to share and to grow as a company, and that's important. So business consulting has a wide gamut, but the people who are closest to my heart are the small businesses.
Yeah.
Because for one, my vision for the world is a world where women are economically empowered so that they can make better choices and wiser decisions. And I think that's important. And I'm doing this through a project that targets 500 women and helping women after childbirth to work to become economically empowered. When I work with small businesses, funny enough, most of them are women. I do have men, but most of them are women. And so I feel a kind of closeness because it is really what I am passionate about. I'm passionate about helping women, but they are also the small business owners. So I see them grow. I see them thrive. I see them tell me, Ms. Black, I have no time for you now. I can't speak because I'm booked. I have appointments. So I will catch up with you later. I love that.
Yes.
Because that tells me that they are growing and they are empowered to do what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely. So tell us a bit about your team. You keep referring to our team. So let's hear about some of the people.
So here's what. Cerulean is a Caribbean company. We see ourselves as a platform for Caribbean professionals to develop their craft. Whether it be them teaching others or whether it be we teaching them.
Okay.
And so on the team is a grouping of 15 associate trainers. We also have an office manager, a marketing executive, a sales executive. We have an admin assistant. And we all work together to create what Cerulean looks like. We believe that there are people in this world who are probably thinking it's better for them to buy into a franchise, and that is okay. But Cerulean will be a Caribbean brand. We will be working on what we are great at. I think everyone, when you look at our Caribbean professionals, we all went to the universities. We sat there just as all of those persons who own the franchises. So we have hypotheses, we have ideas, and so it is for us to defend those ideas.
Yes.
And what is the difference between a lot of the big and shiny brands in the US and in Europe? The difference is that they have publicists and they have salespeople, and they are able to package and sell. But for us, we know what our model is, and our model is a Caribbean platform that creates programs designed for our Caribbean people, because we understand foremost the struggles.
Yes.
We understand foremost where our people come from. When a young man leaves Kanji and he comes to town to work for me, and he's probably trying to get on one of the routes to get to the office, and he's started his journey from 4 a.m. He falls asleep. He passed where he's going. He reached the park. He has to find another bus. I appreciate that fundamentally. Right? When he comes to me, I'm not killing him. What I'm saying to him is, I know that you are tired. Have a coffee, have a cup of tea, and let's start working.
Yes.
When you're finished.
You create the atmosphere.
You create that atmosphere.
So, what has your experience been as a woman leading this team? There must be some kind of challenges you've had, particularly because you're a woman. And later on, you can tell us about all the challenges you've had in business, you were able to overcome.
Well, the challenges that I face is when it comes to business is the fact that if I have a contribution to make, I'll make it, Marlon. I don't apologize for that. A lot of ladies are I think expected to sit quietly. Some of them really do because they don't feel comfortable making a point or even disagreeing. But if I disagree with you, Marlon, I will tell you. I'll tell you why, and I'll probably tell you how we can fix it. Because, and I wasn't always like that, but I had to learn to be that way. I had to learn to develop a mindset of true authenticity. That if I am in a room and we are talking about Guyana, Guyana is a country that I appreciate a lot because the people have always loved me. So when I speak about where I think we should go on a particular issue, it comes with all sincerity. Whether in the room, I get the glares because the ladies tell me all the time, they like, Miss Black, I don't know how you do it. I say I do it because I have to do it. If I don't, you won't. And so I want you to see that you can. I'm not doing it so that you could see I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I want you to know and feel that you can. So the next time we walk in the room, you don't agree, you have a point, you need to make that point. My mentees will tell you because I see them standing up to give their viewpoint on things. And that's important as a woman because we come with a different perspective. As women, we rarely give out the best when we are in agreement or when we are in disagreement. We tell you exactly what it is. And so without fluff and without trying to charm our way, we are technically strong as women, and we are supposed to be able to speak on those on the things that we are passionate about. So
were you ever really resented by men for really speaking up and trying to dominate and to have a voice?
Yes, I've had my fair share. But I think what has happened, well, I get on well with men. There are ladies who just get on well. I have very good brothers and people who think. So sometimes they tell me, sometimes you need to keep quiet. I say no. Sometimes you need to say leave the woman alone. So I have that, and I know when that happens, when I present in a room or when I make an intervention in a room, because there's always that man friend of mine who will say, man, people will kill you, I said, no, they won't kill me, but you need to stand up for me and say, blah, blah. So I know that happens.
No, and I can attest because I've sat in rooms with you before, and I've seen how you were able to command the attention in that room as if God sent you there himself. And I'm seeing you gladiating, and I was like, wow, this is really impressive. And I really wanted to know how you were able to move from a position of being quiet and stuff when we first met way back around call to center time to being so outspoken and so dominant and so in every space. So I said to them, we're going to come this evening and we're going to mind your business, we're going to understand your secret, and we are going to see what is it we can do within our businesses to grow.
Well, here is what it is. I am a reader. I read everything. My staff will tell you. You know, sometimes I'm reading 3 and 4 books. Sometimes a thought comes to my mind and I am not sure about it. I will never ever open my mouth when I'm unsure. I will research that. I will look to see what are the issues, the pros, the cons, what's going on. And that's what I want to say to women. Be sure about what you're going to be saying. And how are you going to be sure? You're going to be sure by researching, by constantly speaking from a point of view of knowledge. You know, sometimes we hear people talk and they just talk airy-fairy and fluff. You know, it's one of the words I always say. I say, we don't do fluff. What we do is the sound knowledge. When we speak or when we critique things, we are critiquing it from a point of knowledge. Another important thing for women is the fact that we speak sometimes and we don't reference. I will say according to Marlon, because you said,
exactly,
right? Or I would say according to Peter Drucker, because he had these hypotheses. I agreed with what he said. However, my thoughts are it's very important for us as women to have a viewpoint, but that viewpoint must be based on facts, right? And it's not just women; it's entrepreneurs as well, men and women. Yeah.
Reading is key.
Reading
and many
is key.
of us don't like to read.
No.
And there's several books that they're available that can be able to help us become better versions of ourselves.
Yes, indeed. And I'll tell you what happens when you read. When you read, you can write from a clean sheet. Some days I literally sit down and I would write a blog because there's an issue nagging me. You know, I walk in and I see something, or I would speak to a client of mine and then they would have an issue. And I would give them the solution. But it might be a good thing for me to sit and write the solution and really put it into form. And then I would probably post the blog, and the number of people who would come back and say, Miss Black, do you know I did exactly that? And that happened. I say, I take the credit if the credit is mine. But if it is not, I will point them to the book that I read it in. I will point them to the research that I did for that, you know, to come up to that conclusion.
So let us hear, what are some of your favorite books that has helped you significantly?
I'm currently reading 48
Laws of Power.
Laws of Power.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. It's a funny thing. So my husband read it. And every morning he read some part of it. We would discuss it in the car or we'd discuss it in the evening. And I had to read it. So I started reading it, but I was reading something else called Story Branding.
Okay.
Right? And I wanted to finish that one before I could delve into, but I'm doing both at the same time. So that's my 2 favorite books at the moment.
Okay, nice.
You know, there are so many other books that are available. People, you know, you do the research, you find out about particular things, and then the books will pop up. Amazon is a good place to go and do a search for something you're thinking of. So say you're thinking of, let's say in your business you have a human resource problem. So go into Amazon and type up human resource, and the books will come up first. You know, and that's how you see the number of books and what's out there. Yeah.
So, what would you encourage somebody if they're looking to find the truest expression of themselves?
I will. Here is where I would point them to. I would point them to, first of all, assessing your value system. What do you value? What are the things that you value most? So you take a list of those things. So for me, I value honesty, and I value high integrity is what my brand is based on. I also value sincerity, that I will never give you any advice and and not be intentional with my advice for you. So that is, these are three values of mine. It's also three values of my company and my brand.
Lovely.
I also ask myself, what triggers me? Right? And one of the things in my mind that triggers me are lies. I can't stand the fact that the adults feel that they need to lie. Who's going to beat you? So I know what my triggers are, and I know how I react to the triggers. So then I avoid them. So once you're able to understand your value system, understand your triggers, you are then able to look at yourself and decide how you will show up in this world, right? And that is what is your truest self. So your truest self will be based on your value system, what you hold dear to you. And once that is shown first, before the technical, then people start gravitating towards you.
Okay.
Right? We all read, we all went to university, we all sat in the business classes, right? And we know particular things about business. But if you can't show up in your truest self, being authentic, then you are not connecting with people. This world is not about networking and the fancy little black dress. It's about connecting, true connection. And we can only connect if our value systems align.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Beautifully put. I love the fact that you were able to use your own self to be able to see what is it you want to do, where is it you want to go before you were able to venture off.
Yes.
Because I know of persons who are looking at other people and they're just following other people's shoes and following different footsteps instead of following their own. Exactly. And that is why we have Ralph Waldo Emerson with a quote, do not go where the path may lead. Go ye therefore where there is no path and leave a trail. So that you can be innovative, you can be creative, you can dig deeper within.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to see what special skills do you have. And if you want to take it further, how is it you can be of benefit to Guyana and by greater extent to the world?
Absolutely.
Do you want to be a monument? How do you want to be remembered?
Your legacy.
Your legacy.
What is your legacy? Indeed.
And I would link it to persons who would have walked the earth before and they would have done their part so that we can benefit.
Absolutely.
What is it we're doing to be able to contribute to the world so that we can be remembered?
Indeed.
And many people are clueless.
Indeed. I like Drucker. I also like Porter. Because of their stance on strategy. I will reference them. I will follow a lot of what they do. For example, today I was looking at the power interest matrix. And I constantly in my technical field will reference some of these. Right? I also reference Lloyd's Register on maritime. I also do BIMCO and Bureau Veritas. These are all organizations and people who have gone before me. But the issue really is, this life is not about you just following a man blindly. We each of us have our own flaws and our faults. If you follow me totally, there's sometimes I get really I can break it down. You know what I mean? I can really and this may not be you. It might not be a good look on you.
Yes.
Right? It might not be a good look on me, but I'm comfortable in doing that. It doesn't mean that you have to follow me blindly and do it.
Lovely.
You know, so the issue is that if we are not our most authentic self, then you are really a fake. You are not true to who you are. You know, and your journey, the journey that life has put you on, has a lot of merit in it. Your journey and mine are different, and that when you tell your story is meant to empower, it's meant to inspire, and it will only come in its truest form from you. because you've walked that way, that journey. We must always trust the journey. You know.
I like that. Trust the journey.
Yes.
You see, many people think entrepreneurship too is a fly by night.
It's really not.
It's really not.
Yes.
And we need to understand how does our past experiences, negative or positive, help to shape or inform our journey.
That is it.
What is it these experiences are teaching us?
Indeed.
What is it that we're to learn and how is it going to help my future? So trusting the process is very important. Appreciating where you come from.
Yes.
And being confident as you project into the future.
Absolutely.
What is it you want to do? Where is it you want to go?
That's very important because there are many people out there, particularly youth, who look up to us. They're listening, they're hearing us, and sometimes if you are telling my story, you can never tell it like I am telling it, and therefore it doesn't connect with the young person. But if you tell your story, and you tell it in the truest form, I kid you not, there is a young man or a young woman who needed to hear what you are saying. And that is very important. We can't miss that in the conversation.
Because I have colleagues who, when we're quoting people like Les Brown and so on, they tell us about a different culture, an experience different and so on. But when we're able to use our own personal experiences, that does the trick.
Exactly.
You're able to command any audience and get them going because people can see this is somebody that they're familiar with, who would have walked the walk and talked the talk.
I do cross-culture training, and I've done it for 10 years. In cross-culture training, it brings a particular awareness of culture, of what I do. Cross-culture and executive coaching. So where executives are coming into the Caribbean to manage Caribbean teams, and certainly I'm doing it in Guyana now. I have done it for St. Lucia. I've done it for Jamaica, for Trinidad, where people come into the region and they have to manage Caribbean teams. Then there are lots of questions they have. That is how they are able to function, those who are successful at functioning in the Caribbean, because they had a cross-culture trainer.
Lovely.
So once you understand, once you're doing that type of training, you then get more in touch with what is culturally yours as a Caribbean space, as a Guyanese, as a St. Lucian, as a Grenadian. You get to appreciate that more. I
like that.
And in showing and in demonstrating your culture in this way, you are also able to see your journey from a different point of view. And that is like magic. Because when I sit down and think about what I am now training folks in or talking about, these things I did effortlessly through my childhood, and now it comes to a point where we are talking to people about our culture, it gives you a new awareness.
Lovely. Yeah. You've got a wealth of experience and knowledge. I would want to hear, did you receive any kind of recognition, award, major certification?
You saying I have a wealth of you want to tell people my age? No, I'm just joking. I'm just pulling the legs. But yeah, I'm most humbled by the awards that I have received last year. You probably would have seen some of those awards. I was surprised. I was shocked because I do what I do. And those who know me know that I say it all the time. Cerulean Inc. is about the people, and the money comes, right? So we always about how we show up for people and how we help people, because we believe they're the heroes, right? And we are the guides. We are not the sage on the stage. We are the guide by the side, and we work with you to help you to grow and to become what you have destined to become. So in doing that work and focusing on that work, we have achieved international recognition from Women for Africa last year. We also got a Caribbean award from a Caribbean organization. We got the President's Award for the for excellence this year in Guyana. We got a Small Business Connection Award, I think Networking Master Award. Wow, so that was this year, and so it was a year of awards, and I do not take the award for me. If you hear me saying we, because it's my team.
Yes.
I have a great team. I have two fantastic ladies who work for me, Michelle Gentle and Sony Mersh. Sony is from Essequibo, Michelle is from Georgetown. They do fantastic work. So when these things happen, they know. I always tell them, get out your frock, because we are going to celebrate. It's never about me celebrating. I make sure that they buy the most beautiful outfits and show up powerfully, because I believe that when you work, you are supposed to be rewarded.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're empowering your team, and they're feeling part of the process.
They must be
committed, and and of course, persons looking from the outside to your team can see that yes, she's able to walk the walk, talk the talk, and to set the standard of what should an organization be like. Yes. So I'm seeing a question here. What is one piece of advice would you give to female entrepreneurs?
My piece of advice to the female entrepreneur is find the problem. What is the problem that your business is set up to solve? Once you find that problem, you then find what will be your response to that problem. So let us say that you are living in a community. The community has miles and miles of houses. There's not a shop or a convenience shop. You decide that your building is in the center of the street, and you are going to put a convenience shop.
Yes.
In the convenience shop, why are you doing that? Because you are selling convenience. You're not selling a tin of milk. You are selling convenience. Yes. So when the folks on the street comes to you, they are coming to buy a tin of milk. But that is because you are conveniently located. They tell you location, location, location. Now, if you are there selling that convenience, why would you go to Georgetown and buy the largest tin of milk to sell at that location? Or why would you sell the largest items? Because regardless of whether it's the large or the small, people will buy it from you. But how many times will they buy it? So as an entrepreneur, know the solution you are creating, but do not exploit people.
Yes.
Right? Because buying the largest tins of milk, when I only need a little, I already put the last end of the tin of milk I had in the house. All I probably need is a half a tin to come back and top up for the kids. Yes. And you making me buy a whole big tin. So that is exploitation. So what I want to say to women entrepreneurs is be authentic in that way. Be true and understand your customer. When you demonstrate to your customer that you understand their needs, they come back tenfold.
Lovely.
Yeah. So that is that as a woman entrepreneur, we as women, we understand these things fundamentally. We know, the cry of your sisters who are mothers, who are single mothers. You can't buy a big tin of milk to sell. You must buy what it is they need. Yes. And that tells them, when I come and I buy it from you and I realize, oh my God, she really thought about this. She really thought about us and Convy. I am coming every day. Yes. Right? Or every time I need. And that is the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship. If you are able to see what the issue is, find the solution, and package it with the customer in mind, and being able to give that customer 3 steps or 4 steps as to how to buy from you. Think about the last time you tried to buy something online, and you have to go round and round and round, be reading little thing. You just forget it. Yes, indeed. Because what we do as humans is, in buying, we want the simplest. If I have to spend too much calories to buy your product, I'm not buying
Search too much.
Search too much, So these are the things that I want to say to women entrepreneurs. We naturally have the knack for us to be able to package well, to be able to be insightful about our customers. So I want to tell this lady on the live, package well, know your customer, and most importantly, produce for that customer. They will come tenfold.
Lovely. I know I'm going to deviate a bit.
Yes, sure.
I know you're the co-founder of the 25 Influential Women Leadership Award.
Yes.
Would you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yes, for sure. So I co-created the 25 Influential Women Leaders Award with my co-creator Michelle Nicholas. Michelle is a very good colleague and friend of mine, and we had been talking about the fact that women are doing such great work in Guyana, and there was not a platform to celebrate them. So we created the 25 Influential Women Leaders. But what I want to talk about tonight is that the nomination process for awardees are open now until the 25th. At 11:59 we will close it off. So we are saying to the public, kindly nominate a woman leader today. There are too many women doing great things. We are very interested in the women who are outside of Georgetown, who are doing great work. If you know a housewife, if you know a lady who has been taking in children, we are not discriminating as to who those women are. What we are saying is she leading? And most importantly, you need to know your role as a nominator. Because if you are going to nominate a woman, the judges are international judges when the application comes before them. So what it is that we are saying to you, you have a responsibility to write about that woman.
Lovely.
So that when the applications come before the judges, that's all they have. They will be going based on your nomination. If you put two words, it's not going to happen.
And one of the things I noted was that there's a special accreditation that was received by the court. They received a merit.
Yes, they did get a merit from the it's New York City. Yes, and that made that basically every year we look to talk to either one of the legislators in New York and say to them, this is what we are doing. So in addition to them you getting the award, you got that certificate. Last year as well we got airline tickets. Yes, Fly Caribbean, the new airline. Hold on, the name just gone from my head. That replaced Liat.
Caribbean Airline?
No, not Caribbean. I think it's Fly Caribbean. Yeah, they gave each lady a ticket to anywhere in the Caribbean they wanted.
Lovely.
So we have lots of great corporate sponsors, and we are also saying to corporate Guyana, use this award for your women who work in your organizations for years. Yes. So that's another thing. So we are so heartened. Last year we had ExxonMobil, we had SBM sponsoring, we had quite a number of organizations working with us. GT&T came on board with us, and we were really happy for that.
So persons can search Facebook for the.
Oh yes, the 25 Influential Women Leaders Award. We will put it in the link in the live when I'm finished. The 25 Influential Women Leaders Award has a Facebook page. We also have an Instagram as well as a LinkedIn, and it is 25 Influential Women Awards.
And then quickly, we're going to jump again.
Yes.
I know you were also one of the co-founders of the Women's Chambers of Commerce.
Yes.
Let us hear what is some of the reasons for
that. So one of the main reason for the setting up of the Women's Chamber is the fact that we had a conversation on the fact that women are having such a dusty time with access to financing. And so we wanted to create a platform where the voice of women can be heard collectively.
Lovely.
And we created that in 2019 and launched the Women's Chamber. And the chamber has taken on almost a life of its own now, where we were the president and vice president for 2 years. And we actually had elections and gave up that space for other women to lead. Lovely. And we are saying to any woman who is in business out there that you have an opportunity to lead that organization or even contribute and be part of the organization. We worked with the International Development Bank, IDB, and we've acquired a $3.1 million project that helps women throughout Guyana. We're using the Dream Builder program, and you will be seeing quite a number of other programs coming out of that. The program is called We 3A, because it's 3A's: Aspire, Accelerate, and there's one other A. And under that program, what happens is we help to inspire the women members of the chamber, and we help them to continue building their program. The Dream Builder program, I want to encourage folks to apply for it on the Women's Chamber's Facebook page. That program, you can literally get a business plan at the end. Once you finish the entire program, you get a serious business plan that can be taken to any organization. The Dream Builder is in collaboration with the University of Arizona. So it's really serious.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to now go back to Cerulean.
Yes.
So the main question of the evening, are the training and consulting agencies available in Guyana?
Yes.
Why should persons come to Cerulean?
Why should persons come to Cerulean? Is because we are authentic. Because we understand your struggle. We also believe that you, when in working with us, you will be the hero of your story. We will guide you. We do not believe in taking your space. We do not believe that you are not capable. We know you are capable, and you might need just a bit of guidance.
Yes.
And we will guide you through success. I have, as the owner and co-founder of many projects and businesses, I have my plan for my life. I have my plan for my business, and it's certainly not doing my clients' businesses. I believe in respecting the client, respecting what you do, and also to elevate you in what it is you're doing. I'm never interested in taking over my clients' businesses. Neither am I interested in being a part of their business unless they invite me and my team, my board of directors have assessed what they're offering and realize that they can perhaps support if they want. But more specifically, we as a company respect you, our clients.
Beautiful.
And that's important.
Awesome. So where can we find Cerulean?
Cerulean Inc. is currently now at 104 Eccles, Flamboyant Avenue. You can find us online. We have a Facebook page, an Instagram, LinkedIn, and a Twitter page. We are all over the internet. We are at Cerulean Inc. So it's CERULEAN. You can find us on any of those platforms. Interact with us. Send us a message. You can also get us at 615-7185. That is our WhatsApp, 615-7185. Or you can call us on 226-4650. We will be more than happy to speak to you. 226-4650.
Lovely. So in about two minutes, let's just have a quick recap of your business.
Okay. So Cerulean Inc. is a corporate training and business consulting company. I would like to highlight our commencement of our mentorship program. Our mentorship program looks at small business mentorship, managerial mentorship, customer service mentorship, because we can do small groups of 3 to 5 under the customer service. We also do supervisory skills mentorship. And these are what we are currently booking clients for in this month. It will end at the end of this month. We are saying to customers or to prospective clients, get on the list, because we do not take more than 20 persons in one quarter.
Lovely.
Yes. So.
So you would have shared quite a bit tonight.
Yes.
I believe we definitely need to invite you back for a second interview.
I thought I'd give you all.
There is several areas left for us to cover, of which
indeed.
I'd love to have your opinion.
Absolutely.
And I know that persons, our guests, they're able to benefit because persons were commenting.
Wow.
I am seeing there's Sancha Halley. She was one of the recipients of the awards. Hi, Sancha.
Hi there, Sancha.
We were seeing Gwen Patterson, Shirley Dio, Nazing Bashk, and several other persons joining. And persons are joining from different parts of the world.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yes, we've got persons
awesome.
from Canada.
Excellent.
Barbados and so on.
Whatever we do, we also do online as well. So that's another thing. We do in person and we do online.
Lovely.
We are not just a Ghana-based company. We work throughout the world, wherever the business is. We work in the U.S. We work in Europe as well as North America. Totally, we do the region, and we also promote our business locally in Ghana. We work in the indigenous communities. We do corporate social responsibility projects. Yes. I am sure you would have seen us doing some stuff. Right now, we are moving to Grove and Linden, where we will be doing a sports grounds rehabilitation project. So we are project managers as well.
Lovely.
Yes.
You see, I did mention quite a lot, you're doing a lot. And I'm sure if persons want you in person out of the country, you're most able to travel.
Oh, yes. I like I told you, I just did the strategic planning session for the women in maritime. Right? So I did that program in Trinidad. I work wherever the business is.
Lovely.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much for taking
You're
time
more than welcome.
From all that you're doing
I know,
to
be here. Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have you.
It is a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to speak with you. I wish you well in what you're doing. If you ever need our support, just let us know. Give me a month notice though.
Lovely. Yes. And I am expecting great things from Cerulean, seeing you at the top climbing. And
we try our best. More specifically, we always put our customers first.
Lovely.
Because that's what's important to us.
Lovely. So there you have it. If you're looking for a company that puts your needs above theirs, be sure to reach out to Cerulean Inc. They are the experts. They understand what it is you need and can be able to work with you towards having a plan so that you can be on the path for success. If you're looking to grow, then you definitely need to reach out to Cerulean Inc. You can check them on Facebook.
Yes.
And the number once again
is 615-7185.
7185
or 226-4650.
226-4650.
Yes.
Lovely. I know I will be reaching out. What about you? It is time that we all come together and we all do activities and training so that we can take part in the development that is happening, not just in Guyana, but across the international platform. So I'd like to also thank you, our viewers, for joining, those joining from the Guyanese Critic page, those joining from the Break News page, as well as those joining us on YouTube. It is always a pleasure to have you here every Tuesday evening where we can come and sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron, and that is how we're able to grow. I look forward to connecting with each of you next week. We've got a colleague joining us online from Trinidad. He is one of the directors on the Shagunas Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, Shagaramas, yes.
Something.
Yeah, Shagaramas.
So he will be on our call to interact with us, to share information on how he's able to grow and how you guys can participate in that as well. Excellent. So I'd like to sign out. Remember, I'm your host, Marlon Joseph, Entrepreneurship in Focus, where together we win. Do take care. See you next time.